You've heard the legends of rally cars that changed everything. Mid-engine monsters with Ferrari hearts, four-wheel drive beasts with turbos the size of watermelons. Almost nobody talks about the box on wheels that beat them all, a family sedan. 65 horsepower and showroom trim, 4-speed gearbox, front disc brakes only. The kind of car your uncle drove to the grocery store in 1974. Turin, Italy, Mirafiori suburb. Assembly line number 6. This is where over 1.5 million Fiat 131s rolled out between 1974 and 1984. Beige, brown, cream, rectangles with engines. When Fiat announced this sedan would replace the exotic Lancia Stratos as their World Rally Championship weapon, motorsport journalists laughed. Actually laughed in print. The derision was wholesale. This was the car that would take on Ford's battle-tested Escort against the legendary drivers of the 1970s on gravel in Finland, ice in Sweden, tarmac in France. A shopping cart with a Scorpion badge. The skeptics had receipts. The base 131 came with a 1.3-liter pushrod 4, making 65 brake horsepower, or a 1.6, making 75. Top speed, 105 miles per hour. 0 to 60 in 14 seconds. Drum brakes in the rear, live rear axle, steel monocoque body, 3-box sedan styling that screamed accountant on his way to audit your taxes. Traditional, unremarkable, boring. What the critics didn't see was Turin's plan, what Fiat knew and Ford feared. The crowd sees a 131 body. The timesheets see something else. Giorgio Pianta drives. The car wins outright. Lancia Stratos entries retire. The prototype carried a 3.5-liter engine, not legal for Group 4, but the message landed. Fiat wasn't joking. By December 1975, prototypes of the real weapon hit Italian tarmac. Rally delle Valli Piacentine. Another win. April 1st, 1976. FIA homologation approved. Fiat 131, Abarth Rally, Group 4, chassis number 6, 47. Exactly 400 road cars built between October 1975 and March 1976. The minimum required? 9 days later, April 10th, Elba Island Rally, Italy, European Rally Championship round. Marco Allen and Ilka Kivimaki in car number 1. The 131, Abarth, wins its debut. Not a podium, not second. First place, outright victory. On an island off Tuscany against established rally machinery, the doubters went quiet. Not silent, quiet. Documentation published on StellantisHeritage.com, cross-referenced with FIA homologation form number 647. Group 4, archived at historicdb.fia.com, and verified against period rally results compiled in the 1977 through 1980 World Rally Championship official records. These aren't magazine retrospectives. These are primary competition documents, homologation papers with part weights and measurements, and factory racing department archives that track every chassis number. Now back to the information. Welded in pickup points for independent rear suspension. Bolted on fiberglass fender flares front and rear to clear wider wheels. Replaced the steel hood with fiberglass. Replaced the steel boot lid with fiberglass. Swapped steel doors for aluminum. Changed side windows to plexiglass. Changed rear window to plexiglass. Added a front air dam shaped in the wind tunnel. Added a rear deck spoiler. Added a roof spoiler above the rear glass. Cut functional air intakes into the hood. Cut cooling ducts ahead of the rear wheels for brake airflow. The cars went to paint fully assembled in this spec, full body color. Then back to Fiat, not Mirafiori, Rivalta plant, where Abarth Corse waited. The engineer behind the Fiat and Lancia twin-cam 4-cylinder that would power a generation of Italian performance cars. His team started with the 2-liter twin-cam from the American market 131, 1,995 cubic centimeters. Displacement just under the 2-liter Group 4 limit. Cast iron block, aluminum head. They added 4 valves per cylinder, 16 total, dual overhead cams. Then the Abarth parts list, lightened pistons, forged connecting rods, polished crank, dry sump lubrication system to lower the engine and improve cornering. Kugelfischer, mechanical fuel injection on the Corsa racing spec. The road cars got twin Weber carburetors, 34 ADF, double downdraft. The street version made 140 brake horsepower at 6,400 RPM, 172 Newton meters of torque at 3,600 RPM. That's 127 pound-feet. The rally cars? First season, 215 horsepower. By 1978, 225. By 1980, 245 brake horsepower at 7,000 RPM from a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4. 122 horsepower per liter. This was 1980, no turbo. No supercharger, just valve timing and compression and Italian engineers who knew where 10 more horsepower lived. You bang the lever, the gears lock together with square-cut dogs, fast, brutal, loud, Perfect for a rally stage where you need to drop from fourth to second in a half second without lifting. Terrible for driving to work where you stall at every stoplight until you learn the rhythm. Dealers quietly offered to swap in Synchrome gearboxes if customers complained. Many did. A ZF limited slip differential transferred power to Pirelli P7 tires. 195 width on 15-inch wheels. Rear-wheel drive. Live axle on the base car. Independent rear suspension on the Abarth. The rally cars sat on revised geometry developed by Abarth Course. The street cars got a softer setup, but the same basic layout. The road car weighed 1,020 kilograms with carpet and sound insulation and 4 seats, still under a metric ton. That power-to-weight ratio meant performance. The street version hit 100 kilometers per hour in under 7 seconds. Top speed, 180 kilometers per hour, 112 miles per hour. The rally cars? Faster, much faster. But speed wasn't the weapon, versatility was. The 131 Abarth worked on every surface. Gravel in Portugal, tarmac in Corsica, ice in Sweden, mud in Britain, finished jumps, Greek rocks. The Stratos it replaced was faster on smooth tarmac. The Escort matched it on gravel, but the Fiat went everywhere and finished. Reliability won championships. His home rally, fast gravel, big jumps, compressions that broke suspensions, blind crests at 140 kilometers per hour. Alain knew every rock. The 131 flew, 4 wheels off the ground, landing flat. No drama. The Finns drove on instinct and pace notes that read like poetry. Left 6 over crest and to right 4 Titans. The 131 won by nearly 5 minutes. First World Rally Championship victory. Alain would win the 1,000 Lakes 4 times in the 131. 1976, 77, 79, 80. 3 consecutive years from 1978 to 1980. On his home stages. In the car the critics called a shopping cart. By October 1976, Fiat committed fully. Season 1977 would be a factory effort. Full campaign. Every rally, except Safari Kenya, where the rough roads destroyed European cars. January. Sandro Munari won in a Lancia Stratos. Fiat and Lancia still competed as separate teams despite the same ownership. Politics. Internal rivalry. Fiat's best finish was second with Anderwet. Rally Sweden. February. Ice and snow. Stig Blomqvist won in a Saab. The 131s weren't ready for Scandinavian winter. Not yet. Rally to Portugal. March. Estoril base, gravel and tarmac mix, 6 hours, 51 minutes, 47 seconds. Markku Alain and Ilkka Kivimäki first, victory number 2 for the 131. Björn Valdegård finished second in a Ford Escort RS 1800, 4 minutes behind. The gap proved the point. The Fiat wasn't lucky, it was faster. 3 different continents. The 131's range shocked Ford. Rally Sanremo, Italy, October, tarmac specialist Jean-Claude Androuet. Home advantage, victory number 4. Tour de Corse, France, November. Corsica's mountain roads. Bernard Darnach at the wheel. The 5th win, 5 victories and 10 rallies contested. Fiat 131 Abarth. Manufacturer's World Championship. 136 points. Ford Escort RS 1800. 132 points, 4-point margin. The family sedan beat the Escort. Silenced some doubters. Not all. Never all. But results don't lie. The 131 owned the World Rally Championship. New livery appeared. Alitalia, red, white, green. Italian airline colors. The previous Olio Fiat blue and yellow stayed on some cars. Most went Alitalia. The works team fielded 20 race-prepared cars for the 1977 season. Each chassis rarely ran more than 3 events before being sold to privateers or kept for testing. Fiat had the largest motorsport budget of the era. No expense spared. Giorgio Pianta tested every rally car before delivery to the drivers. Suspension geometry, engine mapping, gear ratios for specific stages, everything dialed in, perfect preparation. Simo Lampinen 6th. Rally to Portugal. March. Alain wins. Victory number 6. Sandro Munari retires. Broken wheel. Rural out. Clutch problem. 1 car finishes. It wins. Acropolis Rally. Greece. June. Rocky gravel that ate differentials and bent wheels. Hannu Mikkola won in an Audi. Fiat took points, but no victory. The Greek rocks were brutal. Rally Finland. Previously, the 1,000 Lakes, August, Alain's home event, 2nd consecutive win. His 3rd one, 1,000 Lakes victory in the 131. A Walter Rural and Christian Geisdorfer took 2nd. Fiat 1-2 finish, Rally New Zealand, September. Jean-Claude Androuet won, 7th victory of the season. Rally San Remo, October. Alain switched to a Lancia Stratos HF. Fiat still owned both brands. He won. His 3rd World Rally, win of 1978. Alitalia Fiat's strategy worked. Use the right tool for the job. Rally Quebec. Timo Salonen. Another win. Portugal and Finland in the 131, Sanremo and Giro d'Italia in the Stratos, 4 additional podiums. Total domination, FIA Cup for drivers, Marco Alain, well ahead of Jean-Pierre Nicola and Hannu Mikkola, first world title for a Finnish driver. Flying Finns, before the phrase became a cliche. Only 3 WRC events with full factory backing. Rally de Monte Carlo, Alain finished 3rd. Rally Finland, Alain won again. His 4th one, Thousand Lakes victory, 3 consecutive from 1978 to 1980. Rally Sanremo, Rural 2nd. Attilio Bettega 3rd. A Fiat 123. 5 hat tricks total across the 131's career. Ford won the Manufacturers' Championship in '79. Escort RS 1800. The Fiat program was part-time. Privateers and supported teams carried the flag. European Rally Championship, National Series. The 131 kept winning there, just not the world stage. Yet the car proved a point. Dial back the budget, it still competed. Management needed rally cars for the championship. They took them out at night. No prominent sponsor livery, plain white or blue, unsponsored appearance to avoid conflicts with striking workers. Some of the most iconic photos show bare 131s winning rallies. No decals, just speed. Rally de Monte Carlo, January. Walter Rural and Christian Geisdorfer. Car number 10. Victory. Rural's first Monte Carlo win. He'd take the Monte 4 times in his career with 4 different manufacturers. 1980 in the Fiat, 82 in the Opel Ascona, 83 in the Lancia, Rally 037, 84 in the Audi Quattro. The only driver ever to win Monte Carlo in 4 different cars. 1980 started his streak. Safari Rally Kenya, April. Fiat entered for the first time. The African Rally destroyed cars, rocks, dust, heat, animals on the road. Alain finished 3rd, Burl 8th, Munari 10th. Not victories, but finished. That mattered in Kenya, where half the field retired. Acropolis Rally, Greece, May, more Greek rocks. Fiat skipped it. Too hard on the cars. Rally New Zealand, Rural 2nd. Closest finish without winning. Rally Finland, August. Alain won. 5th 1000 Lakes victory total. 4th in the 131. Rally San Remo, Italy, October. Walter Rural, the critical race. Championship on the line, he won. Victory clinched both titles. Manufacturers' World Championship, 3rd for Fiat. 1977, 78, 80, Drivers' World Rally Championship, Walter Rural. First WRC driver's title, co-driver Christian Geisdorfer. The duo stayed together for years. Precision pace notes, trust, Rally Argentina, Rural won. 4th victory of his championship season. Monte Carlo, Portugal, Sanremo, Argentina, plus 2nd places in New Zealand and Tour de Corse. Consistency. The 131's reliability made the difference. Some sources list 20 wins total, including non-championship events that still counted for homologation and development. 2 1-2 finishes, 5 1-2 3 hat tricks, 3 manufacturers' championships, 1 FIA Cup for drivers, 1 World Rally Drivers' Championship, 400 homologation cars built, estimated 600 total including variations and later production. Price in 1977 Britain, £8,500 for the road car. That's £52,000 in 2025 money, nearly 4 times the cost of a base 2-door 131. You paid for the dog box, the 16-valve head, the Abarth tuning, the knowledge that your car shared DNA with world champions. Final WRC victory for the Fiat 131 Abarth. After this, Fiat withdrew from rallying, handed the program back to Lancia. The Lancia Rally 037 took over, mid-engine, supercharged. Group B was coming, 4-wheel drive, unlimited power. The era of simple rear-drive sedans ended. The 131's 6-year run finished, 1976 to 1981. From derision to dominance. The drivers who wheeled it read like a Hall of Fame. Marco Alain, 7 victories. Most successful driver in the car, Walter Rural, 5 wins. Championship glory, Timo Salonen. Future Peugeot 205 T16 pilot, Bernard Darniche, tarmac specialist, Jean-Claude Androuet, Sandro Munari, former Stratos champion, Michel Mouton. One of the greatest female rally drivers ever. She drove the 131 before her Audi Quattro years. Attilio Bettega, Björn Valdegård, Swedish legend, each added to the legacy. Homologation extensions filed with FIA. Extension 1, April 1976, roll bar, wheel attachment, steering, suspension, brakes, radiator. Extension 2, July 1976, gearbox updates. Extension 3, July 76, hydraulic handbrake for rallying, underbody protection, brake modifications. Extension 7, January 77, gearbox ratios optimized. Extension 9, July 77, dry sump official. By extension 26, the car had evolved across every system, each change legal, each documented. FIA Form 647 Group 4 shows the paper trail. Engineers found advantages everywhere: lighter flywheel, stronger half shafts, better cooling. Each rally taught lessons. Each lesson became an update. This script is researched using FIA homologation extension records archived at historicdb.fia.com. Technical specifications from Abarth Classic certification documents for restored works cars, and period testing data from Autocar Magazine's 1977 Fiat 131 Abarth road test showing exact performance figures measured on British roads. These aren't estimates. These are stamped technical sheets and contemporary test results. Now back to the information. Built their own rally variants for Spanish championships. The 1800 engine, homologation specials in Barcelona. The rally success drove showroom traffic. Fiat dealers put stickers on regular 131s. Fiat 131 World Rally Champion, 1977, 1978, 1980. Stick it on the rear window, free advertising, offered to existing customers on request. The racing halo worked. A boring beige sedan suddenly had credibility. Your neighbor's uncle might drive a 131 to work. But on weekends, a driver named Rural threw the same body shape sideways through Monte Carlo hairpins at night in the snow. Context matters. Return it to the workshop, fix the problems, send it back out. Only when Pianta signed off did the car go to the team. Daniele Audetto ran Fiat's racing business, former Ferrari Formula One team manager. He knew how to win, brought that discipline to rallying. The squad had 13 works machines ready for 1976, 20 for 77. Spares for everything. Crash a car, Friday practice, new chassis, Saturday morning. Fiat flew cars worldwide using Alitalia connections. The airline sponsored the team. The team used their planes. Rally in New Zealand, shipped the car weeks early. Rally in South America, same. Logistics mattered. Ford ran escorts on a shoestring. Fiat spent whatever it took, the budget showed. Rear-wheel drive with enough power and the right development won championships. Didn't need mid-engine exotic, didn't need massive displacement, needed reliability, versatility, driver talent, and engineering iteration. Opel took notes, a Ascona 400. Ford pushed the Escort harder. Toyota entered with Celica. The Group 4 era peaked. Then Audi appeared. Quattro, 1981, four-wheel drive, turbocharged 5-cylinder. The rulebook allowed it. The future arrived. Rear drive cars suddenly looked old. The 131's last season, 1981, saw Audi's rise. Hannu Mikkola won the Drivers' Championship in the Quattro. The manufacturer's title went to Talbot. Sunbeam Lotus, front engine, rear drive, last gasp. Group B rules came 1982, four-wheel drive dominated. Audi, Lancia Delta S4, Peugeot 205 T16, Ford RS200. Metro 6 R4, insane power, insane speed, insane danger. The sport changed forever. Poster car. The 131 was a box, boxy and beige and street form, wide and aggressive in rally spec, but still recognizably a sedan. You could see the family car underneath the flares and spoilers. That ordinariness made the success sweeter. Underdogs win by working harder. Fiat worked harder. Abarth's engineers found every 10th. Pianta tested until perfection. The drivers pushed past limits. The results speak. Marco Allan held the stage win record for decades. 801 stage wins total across his career. All manufacturers, all cars. Sebastian Loeb finally passed him in 2011. Rally Catalunya, 60 years of rallying. Only one driver ever beat Allan's stage win count. The 131 contributed to that record. The 7 victories Allan scored in the Fiat. Portugal twice, Finland 4 times, Quebec once. Plus all the stages won in rallies he didn't win overall. The Finn's aggression suited the car. Maximum attack, his catchphrase. The way he drove, flat out, sideways, precise. The 131 responded. It wanted to be thrown around, wanted commitment. Half-hearted driving didn't work. You had to trust the car, trust the grip, trust the engineering. Allan trusted completely. Mechanical sympathy. He didn't break cars. He drove within the margins. Found the fastest pace that didn't risk retirement. The championship mentality. Points matter more than glory. Win when you can. Finish when you can't win. His 1980 season showed this. 4 victories, 2 second places. Finished every rally he entered except one retirement. Consistency won the title. The 131's reliability enabled his strategy. Other cars broke. The Fiat finished. Rural knew this, drove accordingly. The car repaid his trust. Championship trophy. The only driver's world title the 131 ever won. Perfect partnership. The car that won San Remo 1980 with Rural, offered for sale in 2025. Asking price $395,000. Chassis documented. History verified. Abarth Classic certification. That's Abarth's official heritage program. They authenticate works cars. verify chassis numbers, confirm which rallies each car contested. Serious money chasing serious history. The market knows value. The 131 has it. Modern owners campaign them in historic rallying. European events allow Group 4 cars. The 131s show up, still competitive against period escorts and Porsches and Lancias. The reliability hasn't changed. The speed hasn't disappeared. 45 years later, properly prepared examples still win historic rally events. The engineering was that good. Aurelio Lampredi built an engine that lasted. Sergio Limoni and his team of 100 engineers built a chassis that worked. Bertone shaped a body that balanced aero and cooling. The dogbox gearbox still shifts violently, still fast, still brutal. Owners live with it, part of the experience. Driving a 131 Abarth means accepting its quirks, embrace the challenge, or buy something else. The factory that built 1.5 million boring family sedans. Among them, 400 homologation specials. Among those, an unknown number of works rally cars. 20? 30? The exact count lost to time and scattered records. Some crashed and rebuilt, some sold to privateers, some kept in museums. Abarth owns one. The Alitalia car Marco Allen drove in 1978 and 79. Preserved, restored to original spec. Fired up occasionally for demonstrations. The sound of a Lampredi 16-valve 4 at 7,000 RPM. Mechanical fuel injection screaming. Straight-cut gears whining. Exhaust note that shakes windows. This is history that runs. History that won. History that proved the Laughable sedan wasn't laughable at all. Final WRC victory for the Fiat 131 Abarth Rally. 18 World Championship wins in 5 years. Could have been 20 if you count non-championship internationals. 3 manufacturers' titles, 1 Drivers' Cup, 1 Drivers' Championship. Countless stage wins, countless moments of brilliance on gravel, tarmac, ice, and mud. The car they said would fail. The car motorsport commentators derided. The shopping cart, the family sedan. The laughable Fiat, it broke them all. Portugal 77, Finland 76, 77, 79, 80, Monte Carlo 80, San Remo 80, Argentina 80, New Zealand 78, Quebec 77, 78, Corsica 77, victories across 4 continents, victories in every condition, victories that built a legend. Fiat inaugurated the world's first robotic assembly system for mechanical parts in 1976. Mirafiori plant, the 131 production line, robots installing suspension components, automated precision, cutting-edge manufacturing for a mass-market car. That innovation mentality extended to racing. Find advantages everywhere. Technology, engineering, logistics, preparation, testing, leave nothing to chance. The family sedan carried that DNA. The rally car amplified it. When you combine obsessive engineering with world-class drivers, an unlimited budget, and Italian passion for winning, you get results. Dominant results. Championship results. The kind that rewrite history and silence critics and prove that the laughable isn't always what it seems. Homologation required it. FIA spec, tubular steel, 6 points minimum. The works cars ran 8-point cages, extra protection, extra stiffness. Dashboard from the standard 131. Minor changes. Additional gauges, oil pressure, water temperature, oil temperature. Boost gauge on later turbo experiments that never raced. Tachometer redlined at 7,500. Rev limiter cut fuel at 7,800. The engine would spin higher, but valve float killed power. Lampredi knew the limits, set them conservatively. Reliability over peak power, championship thinking. Replace after 3 years regardless. Safety standards evolving. The 1970s saw massive improvements in rally safety equipment. Fire extinguishers mounted within reach. Plumb systems on works cars. Pull a cable. Foam fills the engine bay. Later became mandatory. Fiat pioneered it. Steering wheel. Abarth sport wheel. Adjustable column. Driver sets the height and angle. Lock it down. The wheel diameter smaller than road cars. Quicker ratio, 12 degrees of turn lock to lock versus the standard car's 16. That modification required homologation extension 5. April 1977, FIA approved it. The 127 discs handled the load because Bertone's modifications allowed better cooling airflow. Front air dam directed air. Ducting channeled it to the brakes. The rear setup changed completely. Independent rear suspension required disc brakes all around. Standard 131 had drums and back. The Abarth got discs, smaller than front, adequate for weight distribution. 70% braking force front, 30 rear. The balance worked. Drivers could trail brake into corners. Rear end stayed planted, critical on gravel where rear grip determined rotation speed. Hot weather compound for Greece and Portugal summer events. Tire choice determined by reconnaissance. Drivers and co-drivers drove the stages days before the rally. Road cars. Legal speeds. They noted surface conditions, temperature forecasts, made tire selections, communication with Pirelli's trackside engineers, pressure recommendations, camber settings, everything documented. Pre-stage, mechanics adjusted pressures based on conditions. Hot day, lower pressure. Cold night stages, higher pressure. Science met experience. The teams that paid attention won. The teams that guessed retired. The pair developed their own notation system. Shorthand, numbers, symbols. Other crews couldn't decipher Rural's notes. Didn't matter. The system worked for them. That's all that counted. In 1980, Monte Carlo, Rural won partly because his notes were perfect. Snow and ice, limited visibility. He drove on memory and Geisdorfer's calls, never hesitated, never second-guessed. The 131 responded to that confidence. 7 stages, all night running. Headlights cutting through darkness, spectators with flashlights marking corners. Rural fastest on 5 of 7 night stages. The championship hunt started there. Management worried about optics. Rally cars with corporate sponsorship during a labor dispute? Bad look. Solution: remove the livery. Some cars ran plain white, others light blue. Number plates, driver names, nothing else. The photographs from 1980. Sanremo show Rural's car nearly bare. White body, black number 10, minimal graphics. He won anyway. The strike eventually settled. Workers returned, but the no-sponsor look stuck in memory. Proof that speed needed no advertising. Results spoke louder. Lancia had the Delta S4 coming. Mid-engine, supercharged and turbocharged, twin charging, 4-wheel drive. The future. Continuing the 131 program made no sense financially or competitively. Rear drive against 4-wheel drive? Not sustainable. The decision came from Turin. End the program. Focus resources on Lancia's Group B effort. Logical, painful, final. Independent teams ran them in European Rally Championship, national championships. Portugal had active 131 campaigns through 1983. Italy same. The cars remained competitive in non-WRC events. Reliability advantage stayed relevant. Parts availability helped. Fiat produced spares for years. Engine components, suspension pieces, gearbox internals. Support the customer teams. Good business. Good publicity. Eventually, the cars aged out. Group B took over everywhere. Then Group B died in 1986. Too dangerous, too fast, too many deaths. Group A replaced it. Production-based again, but 4-wheel drive dominated. The 131's era truly ended. The 131 fit perfectly. Owners began restoring examples. Some street cars converted to rally spec, some genuine homologation cars brought back to original condition. The X-Works cars commanded premium prices. Chassis with documented competition history. Logbooks showing which rallies, which drivers, finishes, all verifiable. Abarth Class H launched in 2014. Heritage certification program. They authenticate cars. Verify VIN numbers against factory records. Confirm original components. Issue certificates. Market value doubled overnight for certified cars. Provenance matters. Documentation matters. The certificate proves authenticity. Match the thickness. Get the weight right. The Lampredi engines need specialists. Not many left who understand the Kugelfischer injection. The mechanical system predated electronics. All physical. Fuel pressure, metering, distribution, timing, everything mechanical. Finding someone who can rebuild and tune it properly? Difficult? Expensive? Worth it. The engine note at 7,000 RPM justifies everything. That sound connects to history, to Alain's victories, to Rural's championship, to every stage win. Mechanical sympathy required. 2,045 millimeters, overall length, 4,120 millimeters, width, 1,640 millimeters, height, 1,350 millimeters, ground clearance minimum, 120 millimeters, engine displacement exact, 1,995 cubic centimeters, bore, 84 millimeters, stroke, 90 millimeters, compression ratio listed, 9.2 to 1 on the street version, higher on race motors, 10.5 to 1, valve lift numbers, intake valve diameter, exhaust valve diameter, everything documented, everything verifiable. Lower center of gravity, extension 20, October 79, weight reduction approval, new minimum weight, 930 kilograms, 20 kilogram drop. Every gram mattered. Extension 24, April 1980, aerodynamic modifications, front spoiler revision, better downforce at speed. The FIA approved each change, paperwork required, technical drawings, photographs, physical samples sent to Paris. FIA headquarters inspected everything, approved or rejected. Fiat submissions rarely got rejected. The engineering team knew the rules, worked within them, found advantages nobody else spotted. Intelligence won championships as much as speed. More wins. Faster on gravel, Rural learned. 1979 budget cuts gave neither full support. 1980 became Rural's year. The German wanted the championship, drove accordingly. Alain won Finland again, but Rural took Monte Carlo, Portugal, Sanremo, Argentina. 4 wins versus 1. The title went to the driver who planned better. Alan's maximum attack philosophy won rallies. Rural's calculation won championships. Both approaches valid, both drivers brilliant. The car served both styles, versatile enough for aggression, reliable enough for calculation. The 131 didn't care about gender. It cared about commitment and skill. Mouton had both. She pushed the car hard, learned its limits. That experience prepared her for Audi. Her Quattro victories in 1981 and 82 built on lessons learned in the Fiat. Consistency, mechanical sympathy, tire management, all crucial. All honed in the 131. Fiat brought 30 people to major rallies. Mechanics, engineers, tire specialists, hospitality staff, logistics coordinators. The budget allowed it. Other teams ran with 10 people, maybe 15. Fiat's operation looked like Formula One. Transporters carried spare engines, spare gearboxes, complete suspension assemblies. Crash a car beyond repair? New chassis available. Happened twice in the 1977 season. Both times, replacement cars ready by next rally. The preparation level exceeded anything rallying had seen. That infrastructure cost money, delivered results. 3 championships in 4 years. The investment paid off. Black ice on tarmac sections, gravel mixed with snow, unpredictable grip, 198 cars entered, 45 finished. Attrition rate massive. Walter Rural and Christian Geisdorfer in Fiat, number 10. They started cautiously, no heroics. Let others crash. Rally de Monte Carlo kills the aggressive, rewards the patient. First night, 7 special stages. Rural 4th fastest overall. Good pace, no risks. Daylight stages. He pushed harder. Snow tires, studded. Regulations allowed them. Grip improved, times dropped. By day 3, Rural led, nearest rival 2 minutes behind. The gap looked safe. It wasn't. Monte Carlo changes constantly, weather shifts. Roads dry, then ice over. Assumptions kill. Rural never assumed. Every stage, fresh challenge. Final night, Col de Torini climb. Iconic stage. Spectators line the road. Flashlights, flares, chaos. Geisdorfer called the pace notes. Rural drove. Flat out. No mistakes. They won the stage. Won the rally. First Monte Carlo victory. Start of the championship campaign. Perfect beginning. Temperatures suited it. The stages suited Alain's aggression. He knew Portugal like home, drove it like Finland. Flat out. Committed. The 131 responded. Pirelli P7s gripped. Engine screamed through 6,000 RPM shifts. Gearbox slammed into the next gear. No lift between gears, clutchless shifting. Dog engagement. The technique sounded violent, looked violent, worked perfectly. Alain finished 4 minutes ahead of second place. Dominant victory. Rural won Monte Carlo. Alain answered in Portugal. Internal competition pushed both drivers, pushed the team, pushed the car's development. The rally required different preparation. Higher ground clearance, sump guards underneath, extra cooling capacity, larger radiators, oil coolers, transmission coolers. Everything cooled because everything overheated in Kenya. Navigation challenges multiplied. Pace notes meant less. Conditions changed hourly. Rain turned dirt to mud. Sun baked it hard. Rocks appeared, disappeared, moved. The route covered 4,000 kilometers. Stages totaled 1,000 kilometers. The rest liaison. Driving between stages. No service allowed on liaison. Mechanical failure. Fix it yourself or retire. Brutal event. Fiat entered 3 cars. All finished. 3rd, 8th, 10th. Finishing Kenya meant success. 50% of the field retired. Fiat's 3 finishes proved the 131's toughness. Group 4 rally cars could survive Africa. The Fiat could. August 7th to 10th. Javaskala base, Alain's home event, 5th victory total, 4th in the 131. The statistics don't capture the emotion. Finnish fans lined every stage, thousands, tens of thousands. They came to see their hero, Markku Alain, maximum attack. They cheered every jump, every slide, every moment. The 131 flew. Finnish stages featured jumps, not small jumps, massive crests, cars airborne 50 meters. Landing hard, suspension compressing, springing back. The 131 handled it. Abarth engineers built the car tough, reinforced pickup points, heavy-duty dampers. The Finns drove these stages faster than anyone. Local knowledge, childhood spent watching. Alain knew every rock, every compression, every crest. His pace notes read like poetry. Right 5 into left 4 over jump, then immediate right 3. Geisdorfer called them. Alain executed. The Finnish crowd erupted. Their champion won again. On his home roads, in the Italian car they'd adopted, the connection between Alain and Finland and the 131 created magic. The competition increased. Rural didn't care. He prepared perfectly. Reconnaissance immaculate, tire choices optimal, pace notes exact. Christian Geisdorfer's calls perfect. The duo operated as one unit. No mistakes across 4 days. Consistent stage times, no heroics, no risks, just speed. Controlled aggression, the kind that wins championships. They crossed the finish line first, victory secured both titles. Manufacturers for Fiat. Drivers for Rural, double celebration. The car that started the season with a Monte Carlo win ended the championship season with Sanremo glory. Symmetry, perfection, championship. 950 kilograms, rear-wheel drive, dog ring gearbox, 18 WRC victories, 3 world titles. Built from a family sedan, ended as a legend. The car they laughed at, the car that proved them wrong. The sedan that couldn't, did.